Hey, cunts, don't forget to click the subscribe button.
So this will probably be like, because they're old, I would say this might be like 90 grand or 80 grand after. They might miss 10 or 20 grand. And also on all these deals, there's no AR, there's no AP, there's no money in the bank. I don't want it because it's going to complicate the deals. So that's in it. They're responsible for all of yesterday, including all collections. And lastly, there's 10% line of credit per revenue on all the deals because I need money to run the company, and a MasterCard of $15,000.
So it's like overfinance essentially.
Yeah, and obviously I add 5% on top for all the closing to pay myself, like all the other deals.
Dan, how do we do holdbacks when it's a 100% bank finance deal?
It's not a holdback on the bank; it's holdback on the sellers to keep them honest. The bank likes it.
Yeah.
But doesn't Elivon said it goes from the...
No, but this is authorized by the bank. This is different.
Gotcha.
This is me telling the sellers I'm holding your cash in my bank.
And the bank knows.
Not in the lawyer's
The bank knows.
That it's for their benefit.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Because if they screw around, the bank might ask me for that 100 grand as well.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So, and that's it. And I'm just rolling over the assets of the new shell company, so I'm not responsible for their problems in this particular deal. And it comes with the property and the acreage.
And where's this one located?
And the seller last week had a triple bypass surgery, unfortunately.
I like that.
Yeah, I was smiling. My wife said, don't change the price. I said, we'll see. But they knew it was coming, so they are selling to me. But I'm dealing with the wife, which is actually more difficult. She's Irish, she's from Ireland, she's a little bit tough. But she's okay. Yeah. So if you have any questions.
No, it sounds straightforward.
But it shows what I want to show about this deal is because it shows you can get 100% bank financing if the appraisal, which it did come out at 2.5 million, and if you have a ratio that's over 4.
I'm sorry, the appraisal came out at 2.5 million?
Correct.
And the purchase price is 1 million?
Yeah, sure.
Wow.
Yeah, because they're old and they bought it for like 50 grand a million years ago, and what do they care?
Nobody tells you that 100% bank finance is out of the question, because when the appraisals and the cash flow are so in your favor, they will bank. But I mean, normally a bank won't give you ice in winter. But if they have to foreclose on this, they're gonna flip the property for 1.8 million in one day.
Correct. Yeah.
In one day.
What I don't understand is they did an appraisal back 2002 for 1.8 million, and the sellers provided that to me. Even though I don't understand why he accepted $1 million, but I asked
from 08 to 19, there's been quite a bit of market change.
Yeah, but I got it less in Canada versus Canada.
Yeah, but I mean, he just had a triple bypass.
Yes, yeah.
And that may have affected his decision making process.
Might be a little bit off, yeah.
He's motivated to sell.
No, he's motivated. He wants to live a few months or a few years to spend the money.
Yeah.
Got you. That's why he took
If he hammers and fucks around to try to get 200,000 or 300 more thousand, he'd have a heart attack and drop dead.
Now,
and never get a dime of it.
And the way I now hold them to the deal, because they're supposed to close on the 31st of January or earlier. They're pushing me to close earlier. Is in the LOI we have a bonding provision for a $50,000 break fee. So as long as I don't change the deal, they will have to pay me, and because they're elderly, they're worried about litigation, so they will honor the deal 100%.
How old are they? Even older than me. Well, old people do like to litigate, though. Not all people.
These ones don't, because he's ill. But they were really worried about the break fee. They were really pushing back on that. But I explained to them why I'm spending a lot of my due diligence, which I am, and I have to protect myself if you guys have a change of heart or cold feet at the altar. So.
Or they get seller's remorse.
Correct, yeah.
Seller's remorse. What really is interesting is after the deal closes, a month later, he gets a letter in the mail from a lawyer, and it said that the old people didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah, it's possible.
Okay. And they got another offer for $1.9 million, but they're not telling you that. He bullied them. But it's easy to see him bully. I mean, then they call us as witnesses.
And they don't have any email. They don't do any emails. They only have a house phone, so it's all, so. But, I bring my wife, and she deals with the wife, so it helps a lot.
Good, it's a good deal.
It's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Dan, we had a question. You said that there was a certain case that you wanted every single group to work on, and then we were going to present to see the different findings.
Yeah, well, you all have the same case. You know, in the Harvard cases?
Yeah, is it the Pixar one?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're going to work on next.
Yeah. And you'll be, well, I'm not surprised, but how different groups approach it from different, you know.
We were speaking, and we're a little bit, I don't know, maybe we're wrong. These Germans, so they're supposed to be very right, you know. We think that possibly a lot of people are going through maybe too much things that aren't important. Like, is the lesson here to learn to run through quick so you can be like next, and get a deal done? Or is the lesson here to like beat it to death? I don't understand.
No, the lesson's not to beat it death, but every group's different.
Because we run through pretty quick.
Okay, but see, what you're not doing, well, maybe you are, maybe you're not, but why, when you pass and you say next, the answer is not, now for me, the answer is cash flow, free cash flow didn't meet debt service. That's it.
Yes.
I never get beyond that.
Yes.
But for you, you need to understand, so when you're assimilating this information and it's processed and it's going into different spots in your brain, and you come up with one answer, but the group needs to understand that cash flow, meaning the debt service with some spare, extra stuff, is not the only thing we look at. You can make a decision, but here I want you to understand behind, like the guy that did the pharmaceutical deals, okay? That really is why, that story is healthcare. And why healthcare is so fucking hot, and I've said it for 35 years. I mean, he could cut and paste that and put it for his executive summary and never have to do anything else. But I knew those numbers. Some of you that are looking at healthcare still don't know those numbers. Now, some of you are just taking it on blind faith because I say so. I understand that. But I'm not going to be at every meeting with you. And even though I tell you to bring a director, you don't have any. Okay, so he's his expert. Okay, which is a scary thought when you think about it. Because what does he know about anything? Nothing. Thank you. You took the word right out of my mouth.
That's why I got the management company. Just roll them in there.
Yeah. So, but I mean, I'm not going to tell people not to go into detail because I want, every group is different. And then when we look at the Pixar, some of you are just going to say next. You would have been wrong. When you just look at the face of it, next. So you need to understand more. But all of you should be going through more deals faster. Even with his slim down management style, you can go through 100 deals a week, easy, without even breaking a sweat.
Well, that's why we were saying, are we missing something?
No, you're not missing anything, but everybody does it different. I'm not here to stifle.
No, yeah. We're fine with that. We just.
It doesn't also depend on the type of business. Like, if this was a construction business, I wouldn't go through it so fast. I would do bank recs like crazy. I would look at the canceled checks. It's a whole different ballgame. But this one is.
Because you think the old people aren't going to cheat you.
Well, no, it's not that. It's just that.
And you know construction people will cheat you.
Oh, 100%. They're the worst.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah. But see, that's your experience talking, where you don't, if they tell you it's Tuesday and you know it's Tuesday, you check the calendar to make sure it's Tuesday.
That's why I remember something that you said in the first seminar was, don't overanalyze, don't overthink it, just look at the final goal, where you want to be. Don't worry about management, don't worry about how the business works, don't learn it, because...
But shouldn't we stay away from sole proprietorships? Because a lot of these guys, I think that's never...
Well, I mean, when the sole proprietor leaves, well, unless you got them on some sort of engagement where they're getting a percentage of the money that they increase, whatever the top line is. But sole proprietorships, when you're dealing, the best average is 2.7 dentists. The best is 2.4 accountants. I mean, you know there's not 2.4 accountants, but those are the numbers that you look at. Just as in, how many beds does this have?
41.
Okay, the sweet spot is 40 beds. Now, I'm sure he did that by accident. Okay.
Yeah, I remember you telling me 40-80.
Correct. So that is kind of the bare ass minimum. Some parts of the world, 20 is. But for the most part, Canada, North America, 40. 40 to 80 is the sweet spot. PE firms won't deal with it below 80. So you want to roll up a bunch of 40, 50s, and 60s and then sell them to private equity.
Dentists, you have redundancies at 2.5 dentists per location. At least you have 3 dentists that are serving that location.
No, you got 2.5. You don't have 3.
2.5.
Okay? And you have 1.5 receptionists. So the bottom line is 4 employees.
Gotcha.
Less than 4 employees, there's a problem.
A one-man show is dangerous.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, these have about 16 to 20 employees per 40 to 55 beds on average because they all work part-time. So there's a lot of staff at these businesses, which it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, because if one misses out, you don't have to go in and replace them.
That's why I care.
Well, for a dentist situation, if you have one dentist and you say, hey, listen, I know you're doing your thing, but we're going to add 1.5 more dentists here.
Well, when you buy that, it's not his option anymore.
Correct, but that could be the increasing revenue. You could basically do a sole proprietor and say, listen, the plan is not to keep you here. The plan is to have you train 3 more dentists here and grow the business that way, right? But that's just too much of a pain in the ass, right? That's not QLA.
No, it is, but I mean, it's. I keep telling you, you got to get your dick wet. You got to do a deal.
Gotcha.
You may do a bedpan and say, forget this shit. Well, I'm never going to do a bedpan again. I can just see you dealing with the dead people. You're not going to want to deal with the dead people. You're not going to want to deal with it. When the nurses or the aides can't wipe his ass, I don't see you wiping their ass. Am I wrong?
You're right.
I mean...
Well, I'm not going to wipe anybody's ass.
Okay, well, that's what happens in assisted living. It goes from diapers to diapers. Some of the guys I was in the military with have diapers now because they're all fucked up. You know, I make fun, it's not true. I used to get my ass wiped when I'm in Asia. That's not the only thing I got wiped, but Sally's not going to wipe my ass.
Like somebody wipe your ass?
What?
Like full-time job? That's their job?
Yeah, full-time.
Okay.
Full-time. I shit more than back in those days. I shit more, yeah. But I have no diapers, you know. Guys my age wear diapers.
Yeah, it depends. I see the commercial.
Yeah, it's a fucking sad, but true.
There's people younger than you.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I do. It's harder to pee when you get older. I already said that yesterday. It is. And I pee slower than I used to. When I was 50, I could hit that wall with my piss.
It splashes back.
Yeah, right? And I used to... My cum could hit that fucking... You know? Put a dent in it. You know? Now... What happened? Okay, on that happy note. Okay, we'll see you back there.